Hello everybody, I'm StarCraft and welcome back to some more Boshy speed through, playthrough, recording over voiceover thingy-majigger. This is going to be the Vvvvvv land. Vvvvvv is actually a game, an indie game, platformer, as you can see. Has a lot to do with gravity and tricky spike mazes and stuff like that. I wouldn't say it's as difficult as Boshy or, excuse me, as I Want to Be the Guy, but it's actually a lot of fun. If you haven't played it, you should check it out. The Vvvvvv actually stands for the names of all the crew members of the ship. All of the names start with the letter V. And as you can see here, I'm going to be playing through this level, and I'm going to be doing the boss at the end. I'm not entirely sure what the name of the boss is. Maybe I can Google it and title a video something appropriate, but I swear to God, okay, on this part, I'm trying to jump while I'm on that moving platform, but it's just not taking. Like, I'm pressing the jump button well before I'm falling off of it, but it's just, it's crazy how it's not working. I was getting very frustrated at this point, and again, that's like, I know that's the reason you guys watch these videos, is to watch me get frustrated. There we go, finally jumping. Able to get down and get that chest. Now, I'm not purposely going for chests. That's just like a CD, which is a song. I got the Chocolate Rain song. But, I mean, you know, if I can, if it's there, I'll get it. But circumventing the spike mazes, crazy, like, weird little screen changes here and there. Lots of save points, which is good because I just want to get to fucking Soul Grain as soon as I can and just do all that shit live. I'm actually stuck on Sonic. I don't know how many videos I've been saying I was stuck on Sonic, but that is definitely a thing. This little mic portion is kind of hard. The first ones are easy, but the last one's actually kind of difficult. It's a very, very narrow opening, just like your mom's butthole. Almost got it that time. Third time's a charm. Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? Yes, it is. Getting that save point and going through the last section of that. And these next parts are actually really hard because they have the arrows which actually switch your direction, and it's not so much that it's hard, but it's very unfamiliar, the types of movements that you go through when you're doing those things. That's kind of a cool secret item. You can see the time of the boss fights, and so if a boss, you know, does something at 28 seconds in, you're gonna know that, and you can just look at the time in the top right instead of having to like guess by other cues, like maybe a twitch of its wiener or something like that. I don't know. But breezing through this pretty well. The only time I got stuck was on that little platforming section. But there are a couple pretty hard parts about this zone, and you're going to be seeing them in a sec. There's actually two hard parts I can think of. Most of these ones are just kind of a little bit of trial and error, but you get the idea. It's just having the patience and actually understanding what you need to do. Like in this one, right when you hit the blue one on the bottom, you have to go immediately to the right if you want to have enough room. Getting that save spot. And you can actually jump. Like, you can still jump when you're going upside down because of the gravity, so that kind of adds an entirely different element to all of these puzzles, and that's what you have to do here. You have to like fall down after you hit the red arrow on the far left and then jump to the right in between the two spikes, the red spike and the white spike. I like how I like how the spikes are just like randomly different colors and sizes. It's so weird. Man, I can't imagine how much testing a game like this would require. But able to take that out, not too much hassle there. And this next section, nothing on the right. I like to try to check like for any secret chests, so, like on the screens to the right where you can't see, where there's like some random spikes and shit like that. Able to pass that part very easily. This one actually looks hard, but it's not. Those things move a lot slower than what you're seeing on your screen. Obviously, it's sped up for you guys, but see, passing that with flying colors, because those are like all colorful. This part's kind of tricky. It actually requires you to not touch either of those things because they'll send you into the spikes. You have to dodge it by going to the right of the first one and jumping over or under, however you want to look at it, the second one. And same with the area up above it. You see the lines of those down arrows. You actually have to avoid those, otherwise, again, you'll get sent into the spikes. So you have to get to the right, get the extra jump to the left to get that extra jump back to the right, get that extra jump, and then jump over onto the block before hitting any of those arrows. You can't hit any of those arrows. I think you might be able to hit the ones at the top if you time it well and you jump at the perfect time, but definitely one of the more difficult portions, and not just because it's actually like a skillful thing, but just because it's not your typical platforming puzzle. It's very, it kind of twists your mind around and makes it more difficult than it really should be if all of that was right side up. But finally able to accomplish that. I don't know how many attempts that was, but it doesn't really matter. So not yet reaching the first of the 2 difficult parts. This is by far, and this was even in the game, this exact puzzle or a very similar puzzle was in the game, Vvvvvv. It's basically you fly up and you go with gravity and you just go left and right and try to dodge these spikes. But as you can see, I kind of remember the pattern of it, and so it's not taking me too long to learn. I don't know if you guys saw the first time through, but man, this was a pain in the ass. So yeah, we're seeing this right now, forgetting which way to go, actually ending up in a dead end. But the most frustrating thing about this is that once you get to the end, if you forget the pattern of the last 3 spikes, I don't know if you'll be able to see it here in a second, but there's 3 last spikes before the save point at the top that allows you to save it before you start going down. Didn't even bother to finish that one. I was just like, I'm dead, fuck it, I'm dead. But yeah, pretty tricky. And also when you come back down, you want to make sure to land on the right side of the spike. Obviously you can't just jump over the spike on the button. Right there, I hit the fucking 3 spikes. It goes right, left, right. I thought it went left, right, left. And so I hugged the right wall to try to avoid the spikes, but of course it didn't work and I died. So it's kind of a sad thing to happen. But it's funny. The thing one of the things I like most about these kind of puzzles, like the gravity puzzles and Vvvvvv, how many times am I going to say that? Is, yes, there we go, got it. Is that the objective is right in front of you. There's just a tiny little spike blocking you from just hopping over to the right and progressing on with the level. But because of the nature of the gravity and that you can't jump, you can't get over there. It's just like looking at you. It's like, fuck you. You can't. No, you got to go all the way up and you got to come all the way back down, you piece of shit. I don't care about you. I raped your mother. You're my child, bitch. And it just kind of throws that kind of stuff in your face all the time. So right now, you saw me kind of like dying over and over to the spike on the right. I was kind of just finding a good place to establish a start from, where I could just drop down, make everything consistent. That's a lot of what these trial and error games is doing everything consistently. Muscle memory, that whole thing. It makes things a lot easier, and that's why I've said this before. That's why bosses like Sonic are pretty difficult, because it is more randomized, much more randomized, and it's a lot of just kind of instincts when you're fighting a boss like Sonic. So able to complete that. That was the first part, and this is going to be the second part. And this is 60 seconds of surviving up and down hell, and this is, oh my gosh, this is a pain in the ass, I have to tell you. Like, a lot of times, it's not that it's difficult, but your mind just gets numb. It's like you just start seeing random white blocks flying, and you don't really know what they mean, you don't know what you're doing, but somehow you're dodging them. And then you get to the point where you're like, well, hey, I've been doing this for a long time, there's only 10 seconds left, and you start throwing yourself off. You psych yourself out, and you're like, wow, I did all this and I didn't even realize it. And you overthink it, and you die basically with 2 or 3 seconds left. And I think I actually do this a couple of times, but one of the good strategies in this is to not trap yourself on the sides. I feel like being in the middle is good because it allows you to maneuver one way or the other, and obviously you don't know which way the next obstacle is going to come from. So oh boy, that was close. Yeah, see, you want to basically dodge the obstacle as soon as you can. If something is approaching from the right and you don't have anything else to dodge, you want to go towards that obstacle, get through it, and then try to see what's next. You might see some examples of that. I'm kind of just chilling in the middle this time, and good maneuvering right there, actually. I'm pretty impressed with myself, I gotta say. But down to 30 seconds. Oh, what the hell is happening? I don't even know how this is happening. It's sped up, and so it makes me look so good, but it probably wasn't as good as it actually looked, but fuck if I don't look awesome. Yes, I'm bragging about looking awesome, controlling a little warning sign triangle in a video game. Oh my gosh. Whatever. I don't even care. I think it's fun. And you see kind of how I'm waiting way too long on the right side to dodge. So this is really dangerous because something will just pop out and kill you. But we're down to 10 seconds. I might actually clear. Oh no. Man. And it looks like, it looks like just a normal death, but I can tell you, when it gets down to 10 seconds, you are like freaking out just because, I don't know, you just get inside your own head. You're not really at the point where you've done it so much where you don't freak out about it. Maybe that's just me. I panic in tight situations like that. I have no idea, but it's definitely a funny feeling. Firing off shots of frustration. So I believe after this is the boss fight, which is, what is it like it might be a Metroid boss? I don't even know, but it's like this giant snake that makes like sounds, and he shoots lasers, and he reverses gravity, and these little jellyfish come at you and stuff like that. But unfortunately for you guys, or fortunately for me, this boss, 1 second left. And the thing about having 1 second left is everything disappears. All the white blocks disappear once you run out of time. So I just had to survive that much longer, and I would have been in the clear. But the thing about the boss, anyway, as I was saying, is I'm actually using turbo for it, and you're just going to see how ridiculous turbo is. I'm actually going to slow down the video to normal speed just so you can see in real time how fast turbo fires and how much of a difference it makes compared to just doing it normal. This is actually one of the easier bosses. So if I was like an anti-turbo advocate, I wouldn't even care if I did use turbo. Anti-turbo advocate. It's like a whole subgenre of activism or something. I wouldn't even care just because he's pretty easy, even without turbo. There's really only 2 hard parts about him that I'll show you when the time comes. Still trying to dodge these fucking squares. But yeah, I mean, this type of situation, like if I were to cast this reel, you guys already saw it, and I feel like it'd just be long and drawn out. And although I probably was getting pretty frustrated, I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. Like these kind of there's like endurance platforming things. I think they're pretty fun. So it's the same patterns over and over. It's just basically how long can your brain focus. And of course, as I've said, my brain can focus until I get to 1 second or 10 seconds, and then I just die. So firing off more shots of frustration. I actually did this, like I'm kind of playing through it on like the super easiest mode, and in super easiest mode, the bosses have half as much life. You have turbo, and this actually only lasts for 30 seconds. And wow, dying like 4 times there. This only lasts for 30 seconds on the easiest mode. So just imagine how easy that would be. Shit. Although I am dying a lot very early in a lot of these. Lots of back and forth. Like, you're not just like kind of left or right. You're kind of like twitching left sometimes. Sometimes you go too far right, so you're twitching, you know, one way or the other. Stuff like that. So you can kind of see my characters going back and forth, not just left, right. It looks kind of cool. It's really cool. I like just maneuvering. It makes me feel like a badass. Is this it? It's coming up. I swear to God, it's coming up. I can see on my timeline here that it should be coming up anyway. I wish I could always maintain like a proper voice volume and still keep the music up, because the music in Vvvvvv is amazing. If you guys have it, you should like download the soundtrack. It's probably on Steam. You can probably just get it, you know, other places. So it's really good. I would recommend it. Whoa, okay, if I don't make it, those are some good dodging right there. Alright, that was impressive. So I gotta say, that was perfect timing to make it. And I'm jumping with happiness. And those damn spikes, man, those spikes just troll the shit out of you. Getting the save point always feels good. And this is the dragon boss. It's gonna be sped up for the first couple of times, but oh, that was some tentacles. His tentacles are actually really easy to dodge. I just kind of forgot how. You just do tiny jumps. That's it. You just do. It looks a lot harder, like they're swinging out a pattern or something like that, but they're actually not. Laser's fairly easy to dodge too. When he turns upside down, you can still just do your normal jumps. And at this point, I'm not sure if I was using turbo or not. That portion, he is actually sucking you in with his gravity thing. And wow. Oh, I don't think I am using turbo, actually. He was sucking you in with the gravity thing in the jigger. Yeah, not using turbo. Am I using turbo? I don't even know. Tiny jumps, tiny jumps. It looks like I am because it's sped up and it's going so fast. Jump on it. Sucking me in once again. This part's kind of tricky. Again, it's not that it's actually tricky. It's just your brain isn't used to it. It's like trolling your brain. It's like reversing your controls, essentially. And then he just eats me. Yeah, he bites you at the end there. That part's hard. That's the one hard part. The other hard part is the jellyfish. Sometimes the jellyfish can just be in a pattern that's like almost not avoidable. And now we are normal speed. I don't know. I think this is normal speed. It looks like it's a lot slower, actually. Yeah, I think this is slower. I need to speed this up. Hold on. Okay, good enough. Well, sort of. Good enough. Anyway, I am using turbo. I am using turbo right now. Jellyfish dodgage. I think it's still a little bit slower, but it doesn't matter. You kind of get the idea of how turbo conspires. Getting eaten right there. And The reason I like turbo is just because it gives my finger a break. You gotta start off with your 5 shots. Start off with your 5 shots, Sai. Or I'm just gonna let him rise up. Must be picking my butt or something. Am I using turbo? Oh, I think I'm turning it on right now. Yeah, okay, I wasn't using turbo before. Now I'm going into the controls. Fucking with the turbo controls. Oh yeah. Now I've got the turbo on. You're gonna see some shit. Look at that, 5 shots all in a row like that. So keep in mind, I got past the jellyfish stage. He had about a quarter of his life left, and then he just bites me. Now watch the difference when I'm using a turbo controller, or rather when I have turbo enabled through my means. I can just, it's just so much easier. Not only do you fire faster, but you can focus on everything else instead of having to focus on, you know, shooting as fast as you can. So I don't agree with that death. There's no way I should have died right there. That was a bunch of bullshit. But yeah. Actually, I feel like on the jellyfish part, whether you have turbo or not, you should be standing on the bottom right block, because that'll allow your bullets to hit faster. And of course I'm dying at the most retarded parts now, because that'll allow your bullets to hit faster. It'll refresh the bullets, and then you get more shots off. So I think I actually do that at one point, but god, turbo is just so stupid. All the shots so close together, just OP as fuck. Some of the shots, like when you're shooting him from the platform I'm on right now, they actually go over his head, and I think it has to do with just kind of the way his hitboxes change with his, like, you know, just natural movements or something like that. So now the jellyfish part, am I going to be dropping down? Doesn't look like. I'm just going to, yeah, there we go. Well, dropping down to dodge it. But basically all I have to dodge now is his little stab. Oh, and he was about to stab me, but he goes down. So that is I guess it's Godzilla. I didn't see the first word that it said, but you know, I'll just title it Godzilla. But that is Godzilla and Vvvvvv World with turbo. Stay tuned for the next world, and we're getting close to Sonic, and that's gonna be ugly as fuck. God damn it.